Following the news of Željko's extension, Partizan's president, Stoja Mijailovic, on TV Pirva, hinted about roster changes, and he said there will be loud reinforcements. Loud. What is loud to you, and what loud makes sense to you? In a situation where we have Kevin Punter, star shooting guard, and Zach Lidey, I mean, an amazing power forward.
That's the guys who are under contract and
core players.
That's your core.
And we have a lot of uncertainties over the center position, point guard position, and small forward position.
I was thinking, what was their biggest issue this season? And I think it was the Matthias Lazor departure. So I think this is the main part to address. So we're looking at centers, I think. Frank Kaminsky's contract is expiring. Alan Smailagic contract is expiring. So those two guys, I don't know if you want to keep one of them as your backup. So basically, I think you need to find your starting center. And what loud, I don't know. Like, are you looking at other EuroLeague teams? Or are you looking outside of the EuroLeague? That's what I want to hear your insights, because you probably... I've been talking.
Okay, if we start with centers. So who are the lead centers on expiring contracts? Eddie Tavares. But he is, first of all, too expensive. Although, I mean, with Mirotic almost happened. You never know in Partizan. But from what I hear, Eddie Tavares is either Real Madrid or the NBA. And then there is Josh Nebo. But as Chema De Lucas reported, he's closing down a 2-year agreement with Milan, so he's ruled out.
Going to play and not be seen for the next 2 years.
God bless Josh
How
Nebo.
do they make those mistakes? I don't understand.
And there are these two interesting names. First of all, Serge Ibaka. That's an interesting pick, and to me, it would be pretty loud signing if he goes to Partizan. And also, Vincent Poirier. Another interesting case, if Madrid can pay him if they manage to extend Eddie Tavares. There are some other bigs like Nicolo Melli on expiring contract. Tornike Schengelia has a buyout, but it might be a significant buyout for Partizan. John Motley, Oturo expiring contracts, but I don't consider them as potentially loud reinforcements. So what do you think about Poirier's or Ibaka's fit in Partizan?
To think of Ibaka as a guy who can stretch the floor, because he can, and Poirier, not so much.
But Matthias Lazor was there. He wasn't stretching
I know,
the floor.
right? Yeah, that's true. And another French guy, loads of energy, an energy guy, which they were exactly what they were.
They have
missing.
a good track record of energetic French guys in Partizan, right?
Laverne was there as well at some point, but that was
he made it to the NBA also.
Yeah.
And Matthias Lazor was there.
Yeah. So I think I would go with Poirier. Yeah. The way he was playing this season.
At the same time, I think they will be really looking at the NBA market. But I just hope they don't make the same mistake as they did last year, to wait until until the start of the season to start the season without basically a defensive center.
It's hard to call them as a mistake when all the roster was built around, and the concept of the roster was built around Nikola Mirotic, basically. So it completely changed the thing. It potentially, took away their targets that they had in the market, which is not rich if you're looking for a center. At least that's my perspective.
But even with Mirotic, you would have needed a center.
They had, I would say, agreements in place already for centers. I mean, if Mirotic happened, 2 more guys were about to join Partizan that they didn't.
Okay.
So it was kind of all set, but it just collapsed because of Mirotic.
Okay. Yeah, so...
But I see your point. Yeah, you cannot be that late in any situation.
In this article, I had resigning Željko as first, signing a defensive center as second point, and third one was just basically...
A guard.
Get 1 or 2 3-and-D type of wings. And this is where the profile of Bonzi Colson, not him, but he would be allowed signing, I would agree. He would fit in perfectly there. But just he or just his type of players. And I would prefer even more than one. Because, you want to have these guys that don't need really the ball that much. And he's great at playing without the ball. And I think he would be allowed reinforcement. And just he would fit in perfectly with Punter and Lide and all those guys. He's just amazing player on both sides of the court. Deflections, 3-pointers, can post up smaller guys. Great in closeout situations. This type of player.
I would really think about guard there. I feel like we
Can I interrupt you for a second? Just I will throw a few small forward names that I've checked. There's Mario Hezonja on expiring contract, Will Clyburn on expiring contract, Nikola Kalinic on expiring contract, and it fits the second sentence that was said by Mihailovic. We will also consider Serbian players as we assemble a team ready to compete for trophies. The problem is that Kalinic is a Red Star guy.
Yeah.
He already rejected Partizan when they signed Jelko, and he was inviting him to Partizan. At the same time, now we're talking about the EuroLeague team, not the Eurocup team. And who knows? I'm just speculating. Who knows about his previous experience in Zvezda and if he changed his mind regarding a possibility to join to Partizan. But he would be ideal piece to this Partizan team. But let's say he's the Red Star guy until he dies and he's not coming. There are two more buyout candidates, Juancho Hernan-Gomez, with his uncertain future in Panathinaikos. And there's this interesting thing about Siobhan Shields changing agents, although he's still under the contract with Milan. But I'm just not sure if that's possible during his current contract, his profile, and etc. But yeah,
that would be loud.
That's what I consider loud. What about the guards?
I just feel like you guys were talking about the whole season about how Partizan is missing a guard next to Kevin Punter, someone to create offense besides the one guy. Because last year they had Exum, who was able to do some of that. Avramovic is a good option off the bench, I think. But I think if we're talking loud reinforcements, I would expect like a playmaker there in the mix as well. But I don't know. Maybe you see it differently. But I feel like you've been talking about this. Maybe I'm wrong about them missing one guard in the point guard.
I mean, that's been a talk for
the last
2 years
years
already. But that's the thing with Jelko. There's no such thing as a real point guard on his team. Last year it was Dante Exum. He has ball handlers. And he saw PJ Dozier as a type of a ball handler that fits Partizan. The project Dozier didn't succeed in my eyes. And if they're really looking forward to improve the backcourt, and if they're looking for loud reinforcements, there is a nice list of potential point guard additions. Although I would say it's quite limited because, on expiring contracts, we have Mike James, Shane Larkin, Keenan Evans. Keenan Evans will make Olympiacos fans happy. And regarding Mike and Shane, from what I hear, it's the most likely scenario is that they will stay with their teams.
Will resign.
So we have 3 star point guards off the market. Cody Miller-McIntyre, expiring contract. I don't consider him as a loud reinforcement, although he had a great season. Nick Kalatis on expiring contract. A tall point guard who was, I think, already rumored, or at least, it was Serbian media, so who knows. But he might fit the profile. Other than that, not much. Kendrick Nunn, expiring contract. Tyler Dorsey, a buyout candidate, probably.
But we're not talking about any of the NBA guys, so maybe with loud reinforcements.
Exactly. That might be the case. That's where I expect Partizan to make move, because Zoran Savic, in an interview I did during the season, mentioned that it makes way more sense to look for the NBA market because of the prices. These guys in Europe who established themselves, they're overpriced already. And for a club like Partizan, you have to look for alternatives. And who knows, maybe there's Serge Ibaka coming. Maybe there's another Jabari Parker, Kendrick Nunn on a lower price. So yeah, that's what might be it. Although there are 2 X factors that I have. 2 Maccabi guys under contracts. Lorenzo Brown, rumored to go to Spain, and given his Spanish passport, probably is more likely. And I was thinking about Wade Baldwin as a tall guard that could fit Jelko's style and profile that he's looking. He's also under the contract, but we know the situation in Tel Aviv. I mean, until this day, nobody knows if they will be able to play in front of their fans, which means losing a lot of money if it won't happen. And, who knows how these star players feel about the safety playing in Tel Aviv, continue playing in Tel Aviv, giving all these situations, with Palestine and even with Iran. I mean, a lot of stuff is going on. So,
and Wade's already warming up to those Belgrade rims. So,
what do you think about Bovin's fit in Partizan?
I mean, I think anybody would love to have him on their team. He's been on MVP type of play for this season, for the last season, especially in the second halves. Just to have him to add the potential that he has offensively to an already potent offense, that would be huge. And at the same time, he has the size and ability to defend a little bit. So I think Željko would really know how to deal with him. And why I think he fits even more is because he's a driver. And I think that was what at least I was missing from PJ Dozier, because he's more of a jump shooting guy, the mid-range guy. And he was great there, but I thought without Dante Exum on that team, I missed the slashing dribbles. I'm going to drive in and kick it out to my teammates, create the offense this way. So I think Wade would be perfect here.
Yeah, although I would really hope that both Zoe and Wade stays in Maccabi and makes this team a really solid team. It was really joyful experience to watch them play and to watch them leading the team in the last 2 years. So